The hidden talent. John was a quiet helper aboard the Sea Voyager, a grand passenger ship renowned for its luxurious journeys across the ocean. Known for his humility and diligence, he spent his days performing the ship's menial tasks, cleaning the decks, carrying supplies, and assisting in small chores. To the passengers and crew, John was just another helper, one who blended into the background. But John harbored a secret, a skill set no one could have guessed from his quiet demeanor and humble role. One fateful morning, as the ship sailed through the vast open sea, disaster struck. The loud hum of the engine faltered, and moments later, the ship came to an abrupt halt. The passengers were alarmed, and whispers of fear began to spread. Captain Peterson, a man of authority and pride, along with the ship's chief mechanic, rushed to the engine room to assess the situation. The crew worked tirelessly for hours, examining every part of the engine. Tools clattered, frustrated voices rose, but no solution was in sight. The captain's face grew grim as he realized the severity of the situation. They were stranded in the middle of nowhere, and nightfall was approaching. John had been observing the commotion from a distance. Though he was a helper, he understood the significance of the situation and couldn't ignore the sinking feeling that he might have a solution. Summoning his courage, John approached the captain. "Captain Peterson," he said softly, "may I try to fix the engine?" The captain turned, his expression a mix of disbelief and annoyance. "You? What would you know about engines? This is no place for someone like you." The chief mechanic, covered in grease and frustration, joined in. "Stay in your lane, John. Fixing this engine is not a job for someone without proper training." But John persisted, his voice steady. "I know I'm just a helper to you, but please let me try. I believe I can fix it." The captain hesitated. The mechanics had failed, and time was running out. Reluctantly, he sighed. "Fine. You have one chance. But if you waste our time, don't expect any more favors." With that, John descended into the engine room. He examined the colossal machinery, its intricate parts sprawled before him. His hands trembled slightly as he reached for the tools, but years of muscle memory took over. He made his first attempt, adjusting a few components. The engine sputtered but fell silent again. The crew, who had gathered to watch, burst into laughter. "I told you," one crew member jeered. "He's just a helper. He doesn't know what he's doing." John ignored them, his focus unwavering. He closed his eyes and listened carefully to the faint hums and clicks of the dormant engine, recalling years of working with similar machines. Taking a deep breath, he made a few more precise adjustments and hit the start button. The engine roared to life, its powerful hum filling the ship. The lights flickered back on, and the ship began to move again. The crew and passengers erupted in cheers. The same people who had mocked John now stood in stunned silence, their laughter replaced with awe. The captain approached John, his stern face softened by a mix of gratitude and curiosity. "How did you do that?" John wiped his hands with a rag and smiled faintly. "Before I became a helper, I was a mechanic for many years. I worked on engines like this one almost every day. When I heard the problem, I just remembered how to fix it." The captain's eyebrows shot up. "A mechanic? Why didn't you say so before?" "No one ever asked," John replied simply. The captain, now fully impressed, asked, "How much would you like for saving the ship, John?" John thought for a moment and named a sum that made the entire crew gasp. "That's ridiculous," the chief mechanic exclaimed. "Why ask for so much?" John remained calm as he explained. "If I hadn't fixed the engine, you would have had to call another ship to tow us back. That would cost a fortune in fuel, time, and logistics, not to mention the risk to the passengers' lives if we remained stranded in the middle of the sea. My skills saved you from all of that. Compared to the alternative, my price is fair." The captain nodded slowly, realization dawning on him. "You're right, John. Your skills saved us more than we could measure." The crew and passengers agreed, and John was paid the amount he had asked for. As the Sea Voyager resumed its journey, John returned to his humble duties, but he was no longer just a helper in the eyes of the crew. He was a man whose hidden talent had saved them all, a reminder that true worth often lies beneath the surface. Never underestimate your skills or let others undervalue them. Your experience and talent have worth, even if others fail to see it at first. Know your value, stand by it, and never let anyone take it for granted. So always believe in yourself. Like, share and subscribe for more stories.